What's going on, everyone? This is Cadman Cycling. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have Tour of Watopia Stage 3. This is the halfway point. There's 5 stages to Tour of Watopia. We finished Stage 1 going through Fuego Flats, Stage 2 up the Volcano Climb, and now this is Stage 3 around the Ocean Lava Cliffside Loop. Starting here in downtown Watopia, we'll eventually finish back here in the same spot. The total loop is only 12 miles long, so a short little group race here today with 480 feet of elevation gain. So the majority of those 480 feet of elevation are about halfway through the route. It starts up that epic KOM reverse, but then actually makes a turn off of it before finishing the full epic KOM reverse. So we're starting here in downtown Watopia. We have a big group today with almost 400 people. These stages last for about 5 days, and you can ride them each hour. So there's really a lot of options based on everyone's schedule to get a chance just to do this ride, and since this one's only 12 miles long, it's a nice quick jump on the trainer. So we went ahead and skipped forward. Like I said, we're about halfway through, and this is where the climb starts. So we just passed the marker for the start of the epic KOM reverse. We won't get all the way to the top, but we'll make it about halfway up. Currently, my spot is around 90th, and I wanted to talk more today just about a few climbing tips. So I weigh about 75 kilograms, which is kind of more on the heavier side for a lot of riders, and I would not consider myself a climber. So I enjoy much shorter routes. I enjoy Crit City in those races over rollers, but when it comes to a long sustained climb, I would say that's not my expertise. So I just wanted to show here throughout the climb, started in 90th, and over the next few hundred feet of elevation gain, I'll start to drop back a little bit. But just wanted to discuss a few tips while I'm on my way up. The first one would be know when the climb is coming. And this way you can kind of prepare before and then recover after. So prior to starting this route, I knew the full elevation gain, but I wasn't quite sure exactly where the route was going, if that was kind of overall through the route elevation gain or one specific hill. As here we get to, we're almost at the end of the climb, and we see my place is now 130th. So I lost about 40 spots on the climb. But going back to that first tip, just knowing when the climb is coming really helps to prepare and save energy before. Try to stay with the group, but save energy as much as you can before the climb. Really give it your all, but then be able to recover after. A second tip would be choose the right bike. So within Zwift, there are many different bike options. Some are more aero, some are heavier. So obviously for climbing, we would want to focus on the lighter bikes. So if we know that we're about to ride a route with a lot of climbing, it would help to choose a lighter bike that would help us up the climb. And then finally, the third tip I wanted to touch on, this is a pretty quick video, but the third one is just practice. Practice, practice, practice. The more climbing you do, the more you'll get used to it, and all of a sudden, these climbs will become second nature with all of the practice. So definitely try to get out of your comfort zone. And I think this is something that I struggle with, is I enjoy the flat races, I enjoy the short races, so that's what I find myself doing time and time again, as we just went ahead and skipped forward to just a mile left. But going forward, I think I'll focus on joining some climbing races, because really that's the best way to learn and get better. So here we are with a mile left, now around 134th out of, it looks like now we're up to 500 riders on the route. But started in 90th before the climb, ultimately lost quite a few spots during the climb, but then during the recovery period, kind of found this group and stuck with them for the last 4 or so miles. We were underwater, kind of making this last final effort here up this hill for a total elevation gain of just about 500 feet, and that's where this ride will end. Overall today, my heart beats high. We're at 189 beats per minute right now, but my legs felt pretty good. I had about 2 or 3 days of rest over the weekend, just busy schedule, doing a few other things, wasn't able to jump on the bike. But legs feel good going into this. We can see about 2 riders made an effort to try to go early. One guy helped bridge, and kind of the group, he's pulling the group with him. So it looks like we'll be able to close that gap to those 2 riders out front. And this is where I'm starting to think about and plan my sprint. The last place I want to be right now would be on the front of the pack, pushing wind and expending unnecessary watts. So what I'm trying to do is don't let anyone get too far out in front that I wouldn't be able to make up that position in just over or just less than half a mile left. I just want to stay with this group as long as possible. I know I'm feeling pretty good, so I think I have it in my legs as long as I can stay with this group for the next few tenths of a mile. So those 2 people out front have been brought back, and kind of this group is starting to clump up with just 0.3 miles left. I do have an arrow power up. I'm in a kind of a unique situation though, where my iPad where I was running Zwift was a little tough to reach, so I didn't want to use that at the final sprint because I thought once the watts would get too high, I wouldn't be able to reach it. So I kind of expend it early. I didn't use it for the final sprint, but kind of use it to catch this guy who decided to go early. My power-up's out, but I start putting down the watts. Almost touch 1,000, but don't quite get there. But it was enough to finish, and we got this route complete. So thanks for joining, everyone, for stage 3 of Watopia. We're 3/5 of the way there. Can't wait for stages 4 and 5. Thanks for watching. This is Cadman Cycling, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.